Good afternoon, Bob Dalton coming to you from Allendale's trading floor here in McHenry, Illinois. It is Monday, August 23rd. We had some light trade overnight, not a whole lot of movement in the corn and the soybeans. Wheat, however, found some strength early on in the, early on in the morning, later into the electronic overnight trade, and kind of led the way into the open for the outcry session on the other two grain markets that we keep an eye on. When it was all said and done today, corn did not have enough strength to go up and test the August 5th highs of 438 3/4. We only got up to about 37.5 and ended up closing at 432 1/4, down 3.5 on the day. That 438 3/4 remains significant resistance. Until they can take that out, I have an upside or a downside objective, in that December corn of 421 ish. Right around 421 is where I think this corn will move next. Unless we take out the 38 3/4, then we're probably looking for somewhere closer to 450. So that is the magic number, 438 3/4 in December corn. Keep an eye on it. As for the soybeans today, we finished 1.5 higher at 10.05.5. We do have some support in that soybean at 997 3/4. That's the November bean contract support. We did trade below $10 for a brief period this morning. They were able to get it back up. We were trading both sides of unchanged for a period today as well, finishing only up 1.5. The wheat market, and the reason I said the wheat opened up better and the corn and the beans started out a little bit higher, although not as strong as we anticipated them to open, but they were stronger nonetheless, is because the wheat was up about 15 points when the overnight session closed up. We finished today with open outcry closing up 11.5 December Chicago at 731.5. Heard about a big tender from France going to Egypt last night. May have had a little something to do with the fact that with wheat going higher, the fact that there are significant tenders now going to Egypt from places other than Russia. Russia's also reporting that they're not getting the moisture they need to plant the wheat, which they're going to begin or should be beginning really soon here once they finish up the harvest in certain areas. But we know that they have until October to get that wheat planted. So I'm still looking at these little rallies in the wheat markets as selling opportunities, selling calls, selling the boards. Make sure your hedges are getting taken care of for next year, as I do anticipate a decent wheat crop here next year as far as acres are concerned. Outside markets right now, the dollar's up about 6.5 points at 83.22.5. You have crude oil down 69 cents right now. That's trading at 73.13. From what I see on my charts, I'm looking for about $72 is the next support line that we'd be looking at in the crudes. That's about $1.13 away. I was reading some analysts this morning saying there's a debate. Is $70 going to hold support if we get through that 72, or are we going to go all the way to $65 in the crude? There is a storm out in the Atlantic right now named Danielle that is picking up some speed. If it gets near the U.S. and if it's going to make a move for the Gulf of Mexico, we won't know her strength until later this week. They're saying Friday, maybe into Saturday, Sunday. So keep an eye on that for any effect the storm may have on crude oil prices. We may start to see that trade later on in the week. Over to the livestock market. We had a cattle on feed report come out on Friday, as well as cold storage numbers. We saw 6-year lows in supplies on the hogs, on pork that is. So the hogs today were affected in a bullish manner. We finished up in the October contract at 78.22.5, up 102.5 today in the hog pits. Cattle, the report came out pretty much as expected, which was a neutral to bearish report for the cattle. Fat cattle today finishing up 12.5 cents at 99.72.5 in the August contract. Feeders today up 15 cents at 114.75. And that's the market recap for today, Monday the 23rd. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call here at 800-262-7538. Don't forget, this is the last week to take part in our yield survey. If you are interested in having your data as part of our overall collection of statistics from farmers across the Midwest and the U.S. overall. Give us a call. Go to the website www.allendale-inc.com. Feel free to fill out the surveys there, or like I said, call in and talk to a broker here. We'll be more than happy to take your information down and keep you abreast as to what our results are on September 3rd. And that's about it for today. You have any questions, give us a call. Otherwise, have a great trading week, and we'll talk to you again next week.